Today, bros and broaduses, we are finding out if MOS Burger sucks. And to do that, we're gonna try everything on their menu. MOS Burger, locally here in Singapore, is perhaps one of the quietest fast foods. At least to my eyes and ears. I don't think I've ever seen a MOS Burger advertisement nor listened to people talk about them, be it in real life or in the online world. And yet, they are a fast food giant in Japan. 1,730 outlets in the world, 47 of those being in Singapore. They are ranked number 2 in fast food sales in Japan, only being behind McDonald's. MOS Burger, MOS referring to Mountain, Ocean and Sun, is founded by one Sakurada-san back in 1972. He was working for an investment company in Los Angeles and frequented a place called Original Tommy's, which was famous for their chili burgers. After coming back to Japan, he wanted to recreate a piece of LA, and thus MOS Burger was born. Which brings us to their signature item, the MOS Burger, which is by no coincidence also a chili burger. When the item is the same name as the franchise, it's hard not to have certain expectations of it. But before we get there, let's start with some sides. Let's start off first with some corn soup. This seems pretty watery. I'm not gonna lie. Let's give it a go. First item of the day. Actually tastes better than it looks. Very tasty. Almost too tasty. There's like a really strong chicken bouillon kind of taste. And there's even like a certain butteriness. It tastes like the cinema. I think I'm gonna start off nice and easy. I'm gonna give this a B. Moving on, we have a clam chowder. Also very loose. I think this is way too loose for a clam chowder. Let's give this a go. Way too loose for a clam chowder. But still, the same thing is very tasty. It's seasoned very well, right? But I don't think I taste any fresh ingredients. Like the carrots and the onions in this, right, are tasteless. The sweetness is very artificial, but it's also $2.90 for like, I think I spot like 6-7 small clams inside. I'm gonna give this a B. I think it's okay. Moving on, we have a MOS chicken. And this is quite cute. Like they have this wrapper that tears off, right? Quite a smart design. And for the chicken, right, you have a small drumstick and thigh. This is technically 2-piece. Like this is the thigh, right? And then this is the drumstick. So this comes from a smaller chicken. Let's give this a go. Huh? Wait, hold up. This is breast meat. This is not a drum. What the hell? This is a chicken wing. This is a drumette. Huh. Interesting. This is the first time I've ever seen chicken cut like this. The seasoning tastes very familiar. It tastes like your 经济米粉, right? Your economical bihun store, right? That chicken wing taste. The crunch is okay. The juiciness is really lacking because they are using breast meat for some reason. Who would cut the chicken wing like that? I've never even seen it sold like that before. So instead of having like a drum and a thigh, right, which gives a really juicy piece, right, they cut off the wing from the drumette and then attach a big piece of breast meat on it. And breast meat in fried chicken is not the best, especially without the bone. It dries out too fast. This is so strange. It's so hard to give a grade. It's so peculiar. And this is not cheap. This is like $3.20, which is right up there with every fast food fried chicken there is. The $3 to $3.50 range. It's not bad, but it's so weird. Why would you cut it like that? This gets a B. Nearly a C, but hard to mark it down so harsh. Moving on, we have something pretty interesting. This is a mussels nugget. So not a chicken nugget, but a mussels nugget. Pretty expensive. This goes for $4.10 for 4 pieces, but it looks really good. It's fried with panko or some sort of breadcrumbs. Wow. I ate 3 already. And the thing that jumps at me is that this is very clever. I don't think I've ever seen people make a panko crusted mussel nugget before. This is called a mussel nugget, but it might as well be panko crusted mussels. I think combining that panko crust right with the briny flavor of mussels right works really well for me. I think this is the first S of the day. I think I would just pass by MOS Burger right just to have some of these right to snack. And I think that is good enough to give it the first S of the day. I did not even know this item existed before doing this video. But yeah, S tier. Let's move on. Next, we have also a pretty special item, a butterfly prawn. So these are little prawns that they butterfly cut, that's why butterfly prawns. Dipped it into some tempura batter and fried it. And these prawns are tiny, like this prawn is only as the size of my thumb after being butterflied. Let's try this. The prawn meat is a C. It's pretty tasteless and there's way too much batter for the meat. The meat is just, it's really so small and then they butterfly cut it like, in the batter it just gets lost. But the tail, the crunchy tail actually brings it back to a B. So it's still decent. The front part of the prawn just feels really bad to eat, like feels like you're eating flavored flour. Yeah, I'll give this a B. Moving on, that is also all the sides we have. And we're gonna take a break with our very first drink. This looked too good not to order. I mean, come on man. The iced matcha latte. You have the dark green on the bottom, and then it slowly fades to the top. Okay. Fuyo! It's not sweet and pretty bitter in a good way. The matcha is not all that fragrant, probably because it's cold. It also is a little bit powdery at certain parts also, but I enjoy this a lot. A pretty big cup too. As far as commercial cup matcha lattes go, I think this is really nice. Not diluted, not overly sweet such that it becomes like a sweet milk kind of drink. $3.50 for such a matcha latte is a steal eh. I wish I could give this an S. If I knew more about matcha lattes, I might be comfortable giving this an S, but I'm gonna give this an A. Yeah, I'm gonna give this an A. 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 Okay, anyway. Let's move on to the main event, the burgers. And we start off with the most expensive burger on their menu. And I didn't know they had this. A classic Impossible burger. They even have a nice like little Impossible sticker. Fried onions. Or shallots, I'm not sure. With barbecue sauce. There's that Impossible smell, if you all have ever cooked Impossible before. Okay, let's give this a go. It's decent. It's decent. Very smart choice to put the fried shallots for Impossible, which might be a little bit flat and sugary. Like having that, the shallots gives it another layer of flavor. And at $9.20, I think this is the most accessible Impossible burger on the market. Other than the fried shallots, everything else is kind of mediocre, cheese, white bun. It's not great, but I guess for the Impossible market, for people who like Impossible, it's quite attractive at $9.20. This might just be the cheapest Impossible burger I've come across. I'll give this a B. Moving on, we have a fish burger. So really like the filet of fish. The cheese actually looks kind of thick. Quite generous with the sauce too. What are these, onions or what? Give this a go. You can't help but compare it to the filet of fish. It tastes so similar. And when you do that, when you compare them right, the filet of fish stands out with its steam bun. But this mayonnaise, I don't know whether it's Japanese in their mayonnaise, but it's so much better than the filet of fish. This tastes better than a filet of fish. I have a feeling that this might be the best fast food fish fillet burger in Singapore. I think this is better than the BK fish sandwich and the filet of fish. So after saying that, this is the third S tier of the day. Moving on, we have a teriyaki chicken burger. And this is pretty cool. There's one whole chicken thigh, I believe. One whole chicken thigh inside. And the color of the chicken thigh makes me think that this has been marinated for quite a while, or like braised for quite a while already. Give this a go. Interesting. But there's a little bit of the chicken stench because they're using a whole thigh. And I believe the skin is still on it. The teriyaki flavor is not very well seasoned. At least not suited to my taste. But it is very thorough. Like, it's quite obvious that the chicken thigh has been spending some time stewing or braising in the teriyaki sauce. You can't get this kind of color, right, just by dipping it. A little bit of hit and miss. I think if you like this teriyaki flavor, you would appreciate this one. But I think it has been executed really well, just that the flavor is off for me. I'll give this a B. Moving on, we have reached what MOS Burger is better known for. The rice burgers. And for some reason, Singapore is the country with the most selection of rice burgers in the MOS Burger franchise. I'm not sure why, the website says so lah. I don't know why good old tiny Singapore has the most variety. It's not like we particularly like rice or burgers, but somehow we have the most variety. They say we have the most variety, but the menu only gives us like 4 options. So we start off with the Kakiyaki rice burger. If I'm not wrong, Kakiyaki is some sort of a vegetable tempura that is all fried together to form one fritter. Peculiar choice for a burger, but let's try. What am I eating? I'm so confused. The texture is like bacang or glutinous rice dumplings. The taste is primarily that tempura sauce. I don't particularly feel any texture from the kakiyaki. And after you chew it for a few times, it just becomes rice and veggie. Okay, for what it is, right? For what it is, I think it's okay. But right, where is the market for people who want to eat a rice burger, kakiyaki rice burger? The big minus for me is that I would never want to eat this. Like, even after tasting this, right, I would be perfectly fine if I went about my life, right, without ever hearing of Kakiyaki rice burger. I'm way too comfortable not... I'm way too comfortable to miss this burger, which tells me that this should be a C. Yeah, moving on. Next, we have a Yakiniku rice burger. And this looks way more promising. Like, oh, look at the amount of beef, man. It's just spilling out. And unlike the Kakiyaki rice burger, I think this will make more sense. Let's give this a go. This tastes really good. The beef fat flavor, right, from the Yakiniku is very apparent and just provides such a strong base for the rice burger to lean on in terms of flavor. But in the meat, right, there's these connective tissues in the beef slices that make it quite stubborn. Quite a pity, because I think as far as rice burger goes, right, this was setting up to be something pretty good already. Like the different layers, right, having so many different layers of the beef slices, right, complemented the rice buns really well. Regardless, I'll give this an A. Really, really tasty burger. And perhaps the best rice burger I can imagine already. But we still have one more rice burger. The EB rice burger or prawn rice burger. Now this patty looks so bad. This color, oh my god. It's the same color as the rice bun. But let's give it a taste. This is so bad. This is so bad. The middle patty, right, is made out of small EBs or small prawns, right, that they stick together using a certain flour and then they fry it into a patty. So it's not all prawn. So it's rice, flour and prawn, and then rice, which makes for such a terrible texture. It's all mush. You're banking on the EBs to be like exceptionally crunchy, right, to give something different rather than it's just all mush. And the initial taste, right, tastes like nothing because EB, maybe it's just this EB, the taste comes really late. There's this aftertaste of prawn that is pretty fragrant and enjoyable, but it just comes too late. Like within the first 5 chews of the burger, there's no taste at all. It's like rice and sauce. And the sauce isn't all that good also. This is the worst item I've tried today. I'll give this a D. This makes even less sense than the Kakiyaki. Yeah. Moving on. A straight up cheesy Wagyu burger. Or pretty much a typical American cheeseburger. Patty actually looks pretty big, huh? They even have a burger sauce, I believe, this orange sauce. This might just be one of the biggest beef patties I've seen in fast food for a while. Even the biggest tomato slice. Like what is this? What is this? Give this a go. It's so big.
That's what she said.
The layers are so thick that you cannot miss it. The tomato, this is like 1.5 cm thick patties. Same with the tomato. Like when you're going through the burger, right, you know exactly where you are. I want to say the patty is almost thicker than the bun. Taste wise, nothing really jumps out at you. Like everything plays a part. The patty has a decent flavor, although it's Wagyu, but it doesn't really mean anything. Nowadays, every mother's son is Wagyu. There are these, however, bacon bits, which I think are bacon. It tastes really like bacon. If it's not bacon, they have done really well. Which leads me to believe that MOS Burger is not halal. Sauce also doing their part. Every component is contributing the flavor, which is good enough. But the main thought is just that everything is so big and thick. Although this is called the cheesy Wagyu burger, I would have appreciated a little more cheese. I think the cheese went a little bit MIA. But everything else, I cannot fault. The patty is thick, right? But it also makes for a very good bun to meat ratio, unlike most fast food burgers who have way too thin of a patty already. The thick tomato slice also is very refreshing when you have so much taste in it. If I think about pitting this up against the other beef burgers, other fast food beef burgers, right? I think this will stand very comfortably. I think this gets an S tier. The 4th S tier of the day. I've never known MOS burgers, right, for like this really big and satisfying beef burgers, right? I always thought they are like rice burgers and whatnot. But this is a contender. And it also puts us in the mood for the most important burger of the day. The MOS burger. Having the same thick tomato slice. Patty is not as thick as the previous burger, but still decent size. And something of a chili going on. Here we go. Huh. The chili is so strong in onion that it jumps out at you, and it caught me by surprise. The taste, the sweetness, the smell of the onion is so strong, right? But it's also very refreshing. And I'm not sure how I didn't catch this in the previous burger, but the thick tomato slice gives the burger so much moisture because of how much water there is in tomatoes. The patty is just thick enough to survive amidst all of the things that are happening. We still managed to represent. But this burger, the experience is more than the components, which is what a burger is supposed to be about. A burger is not just meat and cheese and a sandwich and that's it. Every component has to play a part in creating a flavor. Even the most typical American cheeseburger, the tomatoes need to do a part. The lettuce need to do a part. The lettuce need to provide the crunch. The tomato needs to give moisture. The pickles need to give acidity. The sauce need to provide a punch. The cheese need to make everything smoother and nicer and creamier. And the beef patty is the engine, The beef patty has to come with the flavor. It's not just a sandwich. And this MOS burger, I think, has a really signature taste. Like, I'm a fan. There's even like more extravagant version of the MOS burgers, like MOS cheeseburger or whatever. I ordered the most basic version and it's still very impressive. Considering this, I'm having this burger after eating however much I've eaten so far in the video. Yeah, the MOS burger gets the 5th S tier of the day. Jesus. And we're gonna end off with a very unexpected last item of the day. I didn't know they had this, but apparently MOS Burger is very into coffee. I read somewhere on their website, right, that says that they care about their coffee, and they even have something called like the MOS Cafe or whatever. So we have a freshly brewed gourmet coffee. Have gourmet in the name must be very good one, right? It tastes like the coffee you'll get, right, at the tea time break of an expensive seminar. If you paid like $3,000 for like a, don't know, 5-day seminar or whatever, this is the coffee that you'll get. Is it better than Kopio? Nope. I'll give this a B. So today, we have given out 5 S tiers. Did we give out 5 S tiers? No. So we have 4 S tiers today. The Mussels Nuggets, the Fish Burger, the Cheesy Wagyu Burger, and the MOS Burger. I didn't think MOS Burger was this good. Honestly, I think it's because when I had MOS Burger when I was really young, right? I ate their rice burgers, and their rice burgers are, I'm not sure if I want to say if they're bad, but they are subjective. Whereas I should have tried more mainstream stuff like their fish burger, their MOS Burger. Perhaps marketing so strongly on their rice burger is actually hurting them. So I think MOS Burger doesn't suck. And I might just be a new fan. I'm not sure why it took me so long to have MOS Burger, but I finally had it. And that is also all I have for you guys this time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.